Welcome to Alta, Norway. Home to a population of about 15,000, this is one of the northernmost cities in the world. In fact, we are closer to the North Pole right now than we are to Paris. And did I mention how warm it is?
But the cold weather does come with a silver lining. Alta's quaint villages and fishing bays sit at the mouth of one of Norway's stunning fjords. And it's known as the Aurora Borealis capital of the world, where the sky often puts on a dazzling display. If the town center looks a little modern, that's because of the Nazis, who invaded Norway in 1940 and burned every single building in Alta in their retreat 4 years later. And as it happens, the Nazis are why I'm here as well. It was in the Alta Fjord that they parked the fearsome battleship Tirpitz in April of 1944. Today, there's a Tirpitz museum in Alta where I hope to uncover clues about lost Barakudas. Assuming that is, I can find this place in the dark.
Well, it is 2 p.m. in the afternoon here in Alta, and it is literally pitch black outside. Welcome to polar night above the Arctic Circle. For a few months of the year, Alta gets zero sunlight altogether. This time of year, there's about 4 or 5 hours a day.
GPS gets me to my destination, where I find author and expert on the Tirpitz, Frode Lindjarda.
Frode.
Oh, hi.
Frode is a historian from the Norwegian Defense Museum, as well as an active member of the country's Civil Defense Service.
Thank you for taking the time. As you know, I am investigating the Barakuda.
Yep.
And here in Alta, this is the scene of the biggest moment of glory for this plane, right?
Yeah, the attack on the German battleship, the Tirpitz.
And this is the Tirpitz right here, right?
This is a model of the Tirpitz.
Let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
Thing. This is like a really imposing ship.
Yeah.
This is like the Death Star of its day.
Yeah, it's the biggest battleship ever built.
This thing is a beast.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Churchill referred to it as, the beast.
The Tirpitz, sister ship of the vaunted Bismarck, was the largest battleship ever built by the Nazis and the single greatest obstacle to an Allied invasion of Norway. With a huge complement of anti-aircraft guns, as well as anti-submarine mines, it was a one-boat armada in the Baltic Sea. If the Allies were going to win World War II, sooner or later they knew they'd have to take the Tirpitz off the board.
How many attacks were carried out on the Tirpitz?
About 25 air raids.
25 different attacks.
And 6 of them while she was still being built.
Before she was even out in the water. The mission that succeeded in crippling her was the one using Barakudas. So that was called Operation
Tungsten.
In April of 1944, the British decided on a new approach to sink the Tirpitz. The Barakuda would lead the attack because it was the only carrier-based bomber capable of deploying the 1,600-pound bombs necessary to penetrate the ship's foot-thick armor shielding. 40 Barakudas surprised the Tirpitz in 2 waves of heavy bombing, and when the smoke cleared, the battleship was so damaged it was taken out of service for 6 crucial months. In June, only 2 months after the Tirpitz raid, the Allies landed on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, beginning their liberation of Europe.
And this is one of the reasons that this Barakuda belongs in a museum, that this plane really should be recognized as a real hero of the war.
Yep.
So let's talk about this wreckage that I've heard about. What do we know here?
Some hikers have given us a location.
Okay.
Could be the wreck of an aircraft.
Do you think it's possible that it is a Barakuda?
It's possible, but there's also a lot of other types of aircraft in those mountains.
There are?
Yeah.
And this place is reachable?
It's a tough hike, but it's possible. So you're up for a little walk?
Sure. Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
I'll pick you up?
Yep.
Little walk.
The next, I guess we're calling this morning, Frode and I hit the road before dawn to drive to the mountain where the airplane wreckage was spotted.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or good evening. I don't know anymore. So, where are we headed?
It's about a 45 minutes drive into the mountains.
And the sun is going to come up, right?
Yeah, I'm told so.
I'm told so. Oh, boy.
During winter in Norway, even the sun sleeps in. We drive on lonely, snow-covered roads until the leisurely hour of 9, when daylight begins to creep over the horizon and we arrive at the mountain.
Okay. Okay, so take me back in time.
It's April 1944, and the Tirpitz is anchored just around the corner, further up the fjord.
So the Barakudes would have been coming from aircraft carriers over these hills, bombing the Tirpitz, and then heading back this way.
Yeah, in that direction, yeah.
Okay, so it's possible one of those Barakudes didn't clear the mountain.
Yeah, especially if it was hit by anti-aircraft fire.
Right. And the wreckage coordinates are where?
Or up in the mountains over there.
Should we check it out?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We leave our car at the side of the road. Don't worry, it's a safe neighborhood. And using Froda's coordinates, we set out for the wreckage one icy step at a time.
Okay, into the mountains. This is straight up, isn't it? Up, up, up.
1,000 feet up, there could be nothing for us but ice, snow, and frostbite. Or there could be a barracuda.
So this is a creek here?
Yeah. Be careful if you can snap an ankle pretty quickly if you go through there.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how solid that is.
No, that's not solid at all.
This all looks like ice.
Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. Bruised my ego.
Yeah.
Here we go.
On a frigid mountain 500 miles north of the Arctic Circle, historian Frode Linjarde and I are climbing to the coordinates where a hiker may have found the wreckage of a lost British bomber known as a Barracuda.
Well, we're getting there. But it is not warm. And there's not exactly a direct path to follow here. We're basically zigzagging back and forth around this creek.
A few hundred feet up, and we get our first view of the water where the Nazi super battleship Tirpitz was stationed.
Look at that.
Yeah. Quite a view.
Beautiful. And you can imagine the Tirpitz just anchored right out there.
Yeah, would definitely blend right in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, GPS, how far are we?
Yeah, it's about half a mile in that direction.
Uphill?
Uphill, yeah.
All right, after you.
The coordinates are still higher, so we resume our climb into a frozen world, with icicles along the rock face as tall as we are.
This is like another world. Look at this.
Yeah.
Incredible. You know, the last time a Norwegian and an American were out in this kind of weather was in John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, well, I'm not the alien.
That's exactly what an alien would say. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I packed a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Just, you know, gotta be safe. Okay, so we should be almost there?
Yeah, and we also have only a couple of hours of daylight left, so we have to move quick.
Copy that.
We're racing against the clock even at 10 a.m. At this time of year in Norway, the sun sets at 2, and you do not want to risk being in these conditions after dark.
Oh, careful, that's ice.
Yeah, I know.
This is like a waterfall here.
Yeah.
Okay, what's our distance now?
I got 130 feet.
So let's fan out. You go left, I'll go right. Where are you?
I think we got something here.
See something?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Looks like wreckage.
Metal, right there.
Yeah, metal.
That's metal for sure. That is metal. That's a wreck.
That's a wreck.
My word. This is riveted.
This is riveted,
right?
And it's aluminum.
And look at the aluminum cutouts.
Yeah.
This is aviation.
This is definitely aviation.
This is a plane.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
And look further up the hill.
More?
Yeah.
Where?
Everywhere.
Oh, metal there, and here.
Yes.
And there. There is literally a debris field stretching the entire way up the hill.
Yeah.
This must have been a violent crash.
A violent crash. Probably an explosion. Now we know it's a plane, but the question is, what kind of plane?
Right, okay, so let's dust as much of this off as we can. See if we can find something diagnostic.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, let's get into it.
We split up to try to uncover as much wreckage as we can, and we only have a couple of hours of daylight left to do it.
I think I got part of the fuel tank here.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have the engine.
You found the engine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got it. You got it, that's it. Okay, let's take a look. Let's get this thing clean.
Yes, this looks like the top.
I got a serial number.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks like 0167FD or 0 again, and then smaller number here. And this looks like writing as well. So we'll photograph all this.
Yep.
That's huge.
The serial numbers on these parts can be used to identify a plane, including its make, model, and even its crew.
More numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, more serial numbers here.
Yeah.
Look at these stamps. Can we see the cylinders?
No, but you can see them definitely arranged in a V.
Right.
There. Yeah.
So this is a piston engine.
Yeah.
You know what this is?
Most likely a Merlin.
It's a Merlin, right? Okay, this is a Merlin.
The Rolls-Royce Merlin engine was first designed in 1933 and quickly became Britain's foremost aviation advantage. 50 different versions were made over the course of the war.
Now, the Barakude was outfitted for Merlin engines.
Yes, it was. But
I know.
yeah, there's a lot of aircraft having the exact same engine.
This was like the workhorse engine that helped win World War II. But it still keeps us on the track of the Barakude, right?
Yeah.
If we'd found some big radial engine here, we would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
So far, this could still be a Barakude.
We take meticulous photos of the parts with their serial numbers for identification, even as we continue to uncover more pieces of the plane beneath the snow.
I think I got part of the wing here.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Let me grab that iPad, see if we can ID what this is.
We're hiking with a tablet loaded with Barakude specs from the team back in England. I'm hoping the photos can help us make a preliminary ID of the parts.
This piece right here, see that? This piece right here with that support, I mean, is that not identical to that?
Yeah.
Holy. But so many of these planes have a similar internal design structure. We need more to prove it's a Barakude.
Yeah.
But boy, is it adding up.
If this is a Barakude wing, it's a crucial find. The restoration team back at the museum is missing wing parts and wants them desperately. So we sift through every piece of twisted metal we can see.
Oh, I got paint.
Yeah.
Red paint. Look at this.
Wow.
That's paint. So this is an exterior piece. What is this? Is that paint?
Yeah, that's paint.
That's blue paint.
Yes, blue and red.
Holy. This is the paint scheme on a British plane.
Yeah.
So now, no question we have a plane, and no question we have a British plane.
I've traveled 500 miles above the Arctic Circle to find wreckage of the legendary British bomber, the Barakude. A restoration team in England needs original parts to bring one back to life. Remarkably, against all odds, we may have some.
And this is the rudder.
This is the rudder?
Yeah, it would have fitted into this slot.
Yes, it would have.
Yeah.
This is part of the tail of the plane.
Yes.
These are the right colors in the right location. Let's see if this looks like the Barakude tail.
I bring the iPad out to see if I can place the part we've found on our missing plane.
So here's our Barakude, and here's our tail.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a beauty or what?
That's a match.
That's a perfect match.
It's a perfect match.
Hey,
yeah.
That is unbelievable. But here's what bothers me. Where is this? Where is this whole horizontal section of the tail? It's the one very weird design element on this plane, and it's like the fingerprint of the Barakude.
Yeah.
Where's that? It's not here at all.
The high elevators on the tail are a signature of the Barakude's design, and a part of the plane that the team back in England is specifically hoping to acquire.
If we can find that, we can close the case.
Yep. Let's find it.
Let's find it. Come on.
Yeah.
We're one piece away from solving an 80-year-old jigsaw puzzle, so we hit the debris field one more time with new urgency as the sun begins to set and a deadly cold creeps in.
Hey, Josh, come over here.
See something?
Yeah, I think this is the part of the elevator.
Is this that high piece of the tail?
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, if it is, then this is a Barakuda.
Yeah, I'm quite sure, yeah.
Then these are the parts that they're looking for. These are the parts that could complete this lost aircraft back at the museum. That's unbelievable. I'm speechless. I am utterly speechless.
The elevator pairs perfectly with the tailpiece that we found earlier. Together, we may have found a complete Barakuda tail section for the very first time.
This is a piece of World War II history right here.
Right here.
But the idea that we are standing in front of the wreckage of one of these lost planes is so humbling.
I am awed in this moment. This plane crashed, saving the world from an unimaginable evil, and now it is lost no more.
We look at the violence of this crash. Most likely, people died in this accident. So we are also on a kind of hallowed ground here.
Yeah, this is a war grave.
It is a war grave. But I think this is exactly what we came for.
Yeah.
Hey, Pratite, thank you for coming up here with me.
My pleasure, this was awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Here, far above the Arctic Circle, a plane that helped turn the tide of World War II has been rediscovered. And, in time, may serve its nation once again in the rebuild of the Barakuda. We perform a 3D scan of every inch of the plane. Then, in the frigid darkness, we undertake the long and treacherous hike downhill with our data clutched tightly in hand, excited to share it with the team back in England. The reconstruction of the Barakuda is a project unlike any attempted in aviation history. And when David sees what we've found, he knows it's just taken a giant leap forward.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the fin.
It is the fin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
That's Barakuda.
That's the tail fin from a Barakuda.
That's stuff from Barakuda.
Using the serial numbers on the parts we found, David was able to uncover the identity of not just the Barakuda, but also the crew that flew her. Around the corner from the museum is the Fleet Air Arm Memorial Church, where the names of fallen soldiers are inscribed in a book of remembrance, including 2 members of our Barakuda's crew, Sub-Lieutenant Hubert Horace Richardson and Sub-Lieutenant Andrew George Cannon. Only gunner E. Carroll managed to bail out. Captured by the Nazis, he was a prisoner of war until 1945.